Hello, everybody. This is Pete and Sean. We're out here at Bike Bar trying out our first podcast.
Right as is.
All right.
Is everyone awake here? I know I am.
That was our first intro sound check.
Yep. It went. It's a process. Work on it.
So, first of all, I'd like to thank you for coming up with the idea for this.
You know, many great ideas come from booze, and this was one of them. So cheers to you.
Yeah, cheers as well. So, yeah, a few months ago, you came up with the idea. Well, you came to me and you said, Pete, there is no good local podcast.
And if there are, I haven't found you. So my apologies in advance.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. If we're wrong, please let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to listen and learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And figure out along our way. So one of the questions I had talked about a little bit was what could we do for a podcast? Like what would our topic be?
Right.
So what ideas did you have?
So I think a lot of the genesis of the ideas were what's popular in like the in Ithaca area. What do people like to do? What they want to know about? Coming from like the restaurant and like beer business. Also, there's a lot of restaurants in Ithaca, and you know a lot about the local music scene. Those are two big things in Ithaca, so I figured that just those two alone could generate a podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, we always have great conversations here. It seems like you always have a lot going on. I'm always excited about something.
Yeah, totally.
I'm always excited about what happened last week and excited about this week. So
absolutely,
and we might as well try to find a way to share it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I also was like the idea that you like are a beer rep in town, liquor rep.
Mostly beer, but some
Mostly
liquor.
beer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So thought it would be to talk about what's on tap because we often do that when we're at the bar. You
Sure.
might tell me, oh, I just dropped off this today here at Bike Bar.
Sure.
Or Nowhere Special has this going on. And even if it's not something that you've sold somebody or brought to somebody, it's something that you're interested in or something like James at Nowhere Special, he's getting his own liquor, his own whiskey.
There you go. Hashtag. Yeah. So September, we're kind of like moving from summer into fall. So we're getting a lot of our fall beer coming in. We get like a lot of our Oktoberfest, pumpkin stuff. Stouts and porters become more popular as like the temperature drops. So we're slowly making that transition. I know it's like 1,000 degrees right now, so it's hard to talk about like fall and like stouts and porters, but
I have seen some pumpkins out there already.
Yeah. They're coming. I'm sure everyone, it's coming.
So yeah, I think that'll give us some good stuff to talk about there. And then we talked a little bit about entertainment. There's always a lot of good shows in town.
Sure.
Our friend Ryan always has like a nice agenda for the week. He usually tries to hit up 2 or 3 shows a week. So I figure we might try and, loop him in and see if he can share what he has going on. So
absolutely.
But hanging out with Ryan, if I'm ever in town or I don't know what's going on, I can go to him and I know he's going to be at a show
Ryan always
somewhere.
has his finger on the pulse of the music scene.
Yeah.
Nice. So no, that's like a relatively new thing for me in the Ithaca area is like the music scene. I moved to Ithaca like right before COVID. So like it was like the winter time and then like COVID happened. And so like that whole music scene kind of like stopped for a while and then like slowly kind of made its way back.
Right.
But in the last year or so, like it's back. It's thriving now.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see. It's great for the community. It makes everyone happy. But you know that scene well. Like, the places to be, like bands.
Thank you.
So like,
it's nice of you to say that.
Yeah, no, well, it's just true. Like I'm totally like, not totally, but like pretty raw about that stuff. So I just love hearing other people that were like into that scene, like talking about it because it's like you said, like there's always something going on.
Right.
Some show, deep dive, like you have
the Bernie Milton Pavilion down here, the Thursday night concerts. We've had a lot of fun hanging out down there.
Absolutely. Which draws a good crowd, weather permitting.
Right. And we have a few more of those coming up. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure who's playing this week.
So we have this Thursday, we have tomorrow. I feel like a lot of them got like postponed because like the first part of them, like were always like rained out or something like that.
Absolutely. I know they rescheduled at least one, so we might get an extra seat and an extra show here at the end of the season.
So they go all the way until the end of September, or
Yeah, I wish I'd done my homework, so I'll have to make some notes here too.
I didn't do homework in college or high school. So.
But I do know that Maddie Walsh and the Blind Spots is playing the last event of the year. I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay, cool.
The Gun Poets was last week. That was great.
That was a good show.
And then I gotta say, Sim Redmond Band is playing. If we'll have to double check. We need a fact checker here.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have to get one of the other guys here.
Hand,
somebody in a booth who can come in on a crackly microphone that sounds like they're
a lot of
away.
podcasts have those guys ready and willing to.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Was that my idea?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank your bucket.
All right. So at this moment, we're just going to take a brief pause here, and we'll be right back with our next topics. That's not the right button. And we're back.
Nice.
Thank you for those of you who have stuck with us this far. It means a lot. So the other thing we just to recap what we kind of went over. We talked a little bit about things we'd like to talk about: music, entertainment, beers, and just general entertainment here in Ithaca. One of the things that I'm intrigued about that I know that you have some experience with. I would say a lot, but maybe others wouldn't. But it seems like you have a lot of experience, whether that's hitting up local trails, hiking, waterfalls, biking, skiing. We both snowboard.
Yeah.
We like to have those adventures. So I would also like to dedicate a segment of the show to kind of what's going on.
Sure.
We talked before, what cars got towed down at the dam or
it wasn't mine this week. Thank God.
Right. So let's start with first, you telling me a little bit about the time that you spend the most in Fall Creek, because I know you spend a lot of time in Fall Creek outdoors and you don't even have to leave really and go too far. So can you tell me a little bit about that area?
So yeah, Fall Creek, I usually park at the Creeker Tavern bar and I just walk over. It's usually pretty busy, but I always go to the opposite side of the path or trail that everyone else is on, and I have the entire side to myself.
Okay, nice. Is that one of those things where you walk in and there's just all the flow is going this way?
Yeah, just the trail and the creek, everyone bears to the right and they park whatever. They hang out there, take their pictures. And I cross the creek, which is not too deep, bring my chair, maybe bring a couple of beers, maybe some other stuff.
Yeah.
A book. And I have the whole side to myself, which is great. And the thing about being in the Ithaca area is that we have so many really cool, beautiful spots. If you like nature, I guess is that if you live in Ithaca, you still live in Ithaca, you like nature. Obviously, there's the three big, really popular, beautiful spots: Titanic Falls, Robert Treatment, and Barmack Falls. Which, if you live in Ithaca, you obviously have to check those boxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I also get to if you lived in an area for a long time that you may want to avoid those places because they're very touristy.
Right.
But there's tons, and I'm still exploring and discovering new places in the area that you can have a fall, a swimming hole, or a trail all to yourself.
Yeah.
And kind of be totally removed from all of society, even if you're 500 feet from a house.
Right.
So, which I do a lot.
Yeah, that's amazing to me. And I feel like we could talk so much about just that little part of town. And then there'd be so many more opportunities to talk about all the other different places. I mean, on my fridge at home, I have this map. It's 39 labeled waterfalls.
Really?
In Ithaca or something.
Really cool.
Yeah. So I think we should just number those out.
Have you checked the ones you've been to?
I haven't actually done the checking.
Okay.
But I should.
Yeah, totally.
I haven't really been to a lot, honestly. It's kind of embarrassing. I've probably only been to two or three. So I think that would help me explore these more and learn about these more.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's just an endless conversation.
Yeah. So I kind of go in these phases where I go to certain spots a lot just because they're awesome. They're beautiful. And also other people in the area have the same idea. So I try to force myself for like each week to go to like a spot that it's like either I haven't been to like since like wintertime or I've never been to.
Right.
And then you fall in love with that new spot, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
That's like the really cool thing about the Ithaca area is that you can always explore like new spots and always kind of have that like sense of adventure and like zest to like do something different and new.
And especially with the 4 seasons, you could rediscover
Absolutely.
your same spot 4 different ways.
100%. It's like you can go to the same spot 4 times of the year in upstate New York, and it's 4 different hikes.
Yeah.
Or 4 different experiences, which
Absolutely.
is so cool.
And then, so I think that would be really helpful. What about your bike rides and that type of thing? Are you involved in any kind of biking community? Because I see your post on Instagram and I see people in tight pants who look very professional riding bikes that are sometimes look like they're on fire.
It was on fire yesterday.
Yes. You guys went yesterday. It was what?
Like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Finger Lakes region is beautiful. You get like a nice like mix of like lake views and like hills and like trees. The only problem is that there's a lot of hills in the Finger Lakes region. So yeah, there's tons of roads. I think like I both road bike and mountain bike, and the road biking is great because you really get to explore like roads. You can like drive down like a road like every day, and then if you experience it on a bike, it's like a totally different like sense of perception.
Absolutely.
And that's like one reason I love like biking the country, because it's like I've been down this road like 100 times in my car. Totally zoned out. I probably shouldn't say that because I'm driving.
Yeah. Well, the pattern recognition machine is
of
course.
And then you ride a bike and you're like, oh wow, look at those hills over there. Like it's so cool.
Right.
But yeah,
that's good stuff. Well, I'm really interested in hearing about the biking that's around here. I have a friend at camp who likes to bike around the lakes.
Okay, yeah.
And when we're all out partying the night before, and I'm like hungover, out in front with a headache with my hands on my knees doubled over in front of my campsite. He's like coming by dressed in the full gear.
Yeah.
Hopping on his road bike to go drive around Seneca Lake. So
nice.
That's always fascinated me.
Yeah. So I moved to Ithaca in October of 2019. And that was like wintertime, and wintertime in Ithaca can like get pretty like quiet when the kids go home. And like COVID was like February of 2020. It's when like it was starting in the news, and like around St. Patty's Day, it was like when it was like lockdown.
Yeah.
It was a weird time for everyone.
Yeah, it was.
And I was, I'm a beer rep, so like all the bars got closed. So I had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
I basically had like the whole afternoon free and did a lot of biking. It was like my way to like social distance.
And this was like, you had the bike, but you never really rode it?
No, I mean, I've been riding for years. I used to do like competitive races and stuff, but I had like oodles of time during the week.
Right.
A lot of my riding's done on the weekends just because that's my free time. But I had like tons of time after work. I was getting done like work at like noon. If I should say that out loud. But I was getting done work super early, and like had the whole afternoon and the evening free. So I did this thing where like I biked around all the 11 Finger Lakes, not continuously, but like I would take like a certain day or a weekend and like bike around this lake or this lake. And if I biked around like Seneca Lake, I would hit up 2 breweries. If I biked around Canandaigua Lake, I would hit up 2 local breweries. It was kind of like this geographical journey.
Right.
It was awesome, and I loved it so much. But yeah, it was like this cool journey of like seeing. So it's like, we live in Ithaca, which is very far left.
Yeah.
The farther right you go in the Finger Lakes, so you go from like your pointer, middle finger, Cayuga, Seneca Lake, to like your index and pinky finger, the farther right the political spectrum goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I forgot which lake was like out farthest west. Be like right in the country and be just like all these Trump signs and posters.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I really hope I don't get flat out here. So I'm not asking these guys to like help out.
Yeah.
It'd be like these people, like it'd be like these houses where it's like you're in the middle of nowhere, but you have all these like private property signs.
You're right.
I'm like, how often does like a stranger just like walk by or drive by? Like you need all these signs for like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Totally different country.
It is.
But
so yeah, it's great that you're able to explore Ithaca and the greater 148 50 area.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it. And that's a great thing. I'm still exploring, still like discovering new things. for me personally, whether it be biking or hiking. There's always new places to eat or drink,
Right.
new music venues to go to,
That's
new
right.
music scenes to go to. I have to say, I have to admit this on air,
Yeah.
and you might give me some stick for this, but I've never been to Grassroots.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
But I will give you a pass. It's not like you lived here your whole life, like some people that I know who've never been to Grassroots. So
right.
At least you've only been in town here for about 5 years, and there was a couple of those years with COVID. So
yeah.
I'll give you a pass. But this year, hopefully, we'll get you out. It's funny because I see that you camp and you have camping gear, which I also have been avid camper.
Yeah.
Over the years, but I'm a festival camper, so I only camp at festivals.
Okay.
I don't really camp in the woods.
Yeah.
Yours is more bushcraft. Mine is more, propane and rooftop tents with my vehicle.
That's like kind of the same vibe. It's like you and I like we just want to be outdoors, enjoying the good vibe, good seeing.
Yeah, having a good coffee in the morning.
Yeah, But I think that's what it's all about. Like I think that's what like a lot of Ithacans like to do. It's just like Ithacans like good vibes.
Yeah.
Whether it be a music vibe, like a bar scene, activities, like it's a vibe. Like you and I both live in different areas. Is it fair to say that like Ithaca is like a unique vibe?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
okay.
It's definitely it's cliche to say, but it's a melting pot. You have the university here. You have
absolutely
all the professors here. You have the local people who've lived here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely a huge mix. And, of course, having the university here brings in a lot of cultures. So there's a lot of restaurants to serve those different cultures. So you get a lot of variety in food here.
It's like Ithaca has an Ethiopian restaurant.
Yeah.
How many other places have an Ethiopian restaurant?
If we're going to talk food, though, I have a bone to pick with Ithaca about food, though, because I lived in Buffalo for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I had great, and this is also kind of cliche, but the pizza and wings there, specifically the wings. I have not found really good wings here. I mean,
well, you know what?
When we get wings here, like we have to my wife puts them in the oven and cooks them more, and then puts them in the air fryer.
Okay.
And we put more sauce on them. Like they don't come correct.
In Ithaca's defense, being from or living in Buffalo, kind of came from like the Mecca of Buffalo wings.
Yes, it was founded at the Anchor Bar. Yeah. Okay. So fair enough, I guess. But you think it would be somewhat easy for someone in town to replicate that?
I would think like saying that when you like said that, like it made me like thinking about like where's like the best wings in town, and I can't answer that.
Yeah,
Ithaca, can you answer that? Can you chime in and vote for this? Because we love to hear that.
Yeah, I would love to hear. I have tried a few places, but I haven't tried everywhere. But yes, please let us know.
Yeah. So wait. So how do you like your wings? Being a former Buffalo guy,
how do I like
your wings? Like you like them down from like the sauces, or do you like them
I like my
thick
wings
and juicy,
to be really crispy?
Crispy, okay.
Yeah, so I like them crispy. The best wings I used to get in Buffalo, they were hot wings and with the garlic. So they'd mix the hot sauce and the garlic sauce together, and they'd mix in a bunch of butter. They'd put it in a huge Ziploc bag, and they would actually shake it. Well, that's what we do when we're camping.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were tossing them in some, big bowl.
That's a good idea. I should do.
But I like crispy wings with garlic hot sauce. Is my go-to.
So you gave me an idea for my next like camping bushcraft like dinner is wings out in the woods. With a pre-made recipe, but so like when you're eating wings though, is this like something like when I'm like camping, or is it just like honey, this is what's for dinner? I want wings for dinner.
Usually it's
like when I'm watching sports games.
It's on Sunday. Yeah, we're very
Sabbath,
big wings on Sunday. Bills fans.
Okay.
We lived in Buffalo for 20 years, so we all put our shirts on and put the handkerchief on the dog. And make sure the sign out front is straight.
Yeah.
And not leaning to one side or the other. And so that's kind of it's kind of
nice touch. It's
kind of a big day for us. And wings are a big part of that. We don't really eat wings, necessarily other days of the week. Although in the summer I like to slow cook wings.
Okay.
So with the charcoal, cook them over 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
Something I've been practicing.
Some TLC to those wings.
That's right. Falling off the bone.
Oh yeah, just shake that wing and that meat falls off.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on our
maiden voyage.
Thank you. And we will see you next week for more entertainment.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Revelry with Pete and Sean.
All right.